What is up, Twitch mods, beach bods, and sleepy gods? Thanks for sitting down at the table with me this week. Today, we're starting something kind of huge. We're starting the first real series on this channel. If you ignore my 1,000-year-old vampire series that only has one episode. There's more coming, though. I see the 4 of you that have commented. Don't worry, more's on the way. We're going to start a series, I hope. Playing through Sleeping Gods, Distant Skies. The original Sleeping Gods is one of my favorite games of all time. It is truly a delight. I think it is the closest that any board game ever comes to capturing the feel of an open world video game. And aside from a few kind of minor quibbles I had with it, it was like a 10 out of 10 for me. And having looked through the rulebook for Sleeping Gods, I am kind of delighted with all the changes that they've made. I really expected this to kind of just be more of the same, just sort of more good Sleeping Gods stuff in a different setting, but they really have made some pivotal changes to the rules that I think help the game a lot. I hope that I'm right about that, but we'll just have to see. So the only way to see is to just start, so I think we should just start. Now, the tutorial kind of walkthrough does have a combat that you walk through. I'm going to skip that, I think. I did it on my own just to refresh myself on the combat rules of the game. But I think it might be a bit laborious to sit through that tutorial. So I think we're just going to start and we can get into combat when we get into combat, because it will surely happen. Don't worry about rules overhead. I'm going to explain everything as I do it. And if you don't know anything about Sleeping Gods at all, well, you can learn alongside me as we play. The long and short of it is that it's an exploration game where we're going to be moving around these little discrete squares on a map, exploring things on the map, reading from this big old adventure book here. You're going to hear a lot of my voice is the thing. And so I hope you enjoy it. I hope you like it because, boy, howdy, you're going to be hearing a lot of this smooth baritone. But yeah, let's just start. Let me grab actually the intro book so we can read the introduction together, because it sets the stage a little bit. And it's a lovely little comic book, which I think is a delightful little touch. I don't know why I keep using little as a modifier for everything, but I promise I'm going to stop. Okay, here we are. San Francisco, 1937. I hope you can see this okay. If not, I'll put in pictures in post. We left the bay late in the day on a last-minute cargo run. My cousin Jessie came along to see her father in Hawaii. An art trader kept an eye on one of his rare collections. It was bound for a backdoor sale in Honolulu. His assistant and soon-to-be son-in-law was along to detect possible fart. Boy, I got ahead of myself on that one. His assistant and soon-to-be son-in-law was along to detect possible art forgeries. And fart forgeries, maybe. I mean, you don't know, man. All things on heaven and earth, Horatio. Vrr, says the plane. Not long into the flight, Eugene and I spotted something ahead. It looked like a giant eye made of light, and it pulled at the plane like a magnet. How do we feel about sound effects, folks? Should I keep those going, do you think, for the whole series? Comment down below whether you love or hate the sound effects, and we'll figure it out. In a flash of light, the glittering sea below turned into a cloudy valley surrounded by icy cliffs. As we circled back to search for the eye, an apocalyptic screech shook the plane. Oh shit, they got Uzis. Oh man. A primeval terror was pursuing us. There's another one. Yeah, they're dead. It's right behind us. We barely escaped. As we navigated the unfamiliar peaks, Eugene spied an encampment in the heart of a green valley. We decided to land and get our bearings. Thank God, you arrived. I never thought I would get back to Oslo. A man, a suspiciously American man, emerged from the tent and introduced himself as Henrik Cragg. You've entered a strange world, my friends, and getting back to Earth won't be easy. Almost every passenger from my plane is lost or dead. Can you help me find the survivors? We will need to use your plane to get back. The monster destroyed mine. There's a woman just north of here. She says she can make the monster sleep so we can pass unharmed. It's our only chance now. A distant moon blinked through the haze when we set out to find the woman that could help us get home. But we got lost along the way. Some wanted to turn back. And so now we hit one of the very, very regular skill checks that will be occurring through the game. So you see we can either find a path, which tests our perception, or gather our courage, which tests our moxie. Now, I'm not going to do that right now just because it's all a tutorial. But the long and short of it is all of our characters here, Azarius, Miguel, Jesse, Claire, and Ed, have these skills in varying amounts. Azarius is buff as heck and also a reader. Wow, he's really every lady or gentleman's dream. Miguel, bit of a reader. He has a pet wolf, maybe. I think that's cunning. So he's a smart guy. You know, he's puts in a lot of work detecting fart forgeries and such. Jessie's just sort of an all-arounder. We love that for her. We love her cool bat, and even more so, her cool cat. It rhymes, so you know it's true. Claire is sort of the, man, you know, I said it's one of my favorite games of all time, but I don't remember the name of the captain from the original Sleeping Gods. But she sort of fills that role in this game where if you're playing in a multiplayer game, she gets passed around to the other players. And she kind of has the best skill spread and pretty good health and stuff. And then Ed, he's a cunning fart dealer. That's never going to go away. And I'm terribly, terribly sorry for it. So anytime you need to test a skill, you choose to utilize characters. And whereas in the original Sleeping Gods, you would be placing fatigue on these characters, in Sleeping Gods Distant Skies, they have stamina that they expend, which I like a lot more than fatigue because you have more of it, and I like having more of things. Call it the American capitalist in me, but I just like to have stuff. So what you would do is, like, let's say, for instance, we're testing our perception. I see that Azarius has good protection. Maybe I want to use him. Now I have 1 perception added to my score. Maybe I'll use Claire too. That's 2 perception. And now I don't want to use everybody on this, right? I don't want to just burn through all my stamina. So that's all I'm going to use. But you might be saying to yourself, now how the heck are you ever going to get to 8 from 2? It's just not possible. Well, we're going to draw from the top of the fate deck, and you know what? It probably isn't possible, but we can hope. Look at that. We drew a 5. We were so close. But we didn't quite make it. So in this case, we would fail that test, and we would deal with whatever the consequences were. It's a choose your own adventure, that kind of thing. So these cards have a few different things going on. They have a fate value, which is just relevant when you're adding to tests. They have a skill that increases when you equip this card on somebody. An ability that you can do when you equip it, and then the equip cost, which is essentially how many of these cards you have to discard from your hand in order to do it. Now, we start the game with 5 of these dang old things, and you can see them here. I will call them to attention when I use them, when I equip them, etc. I don't feel like going over them all the time is going to be a great use of our time, so we'll just wait on that. But yeah, that is the basics of how a skill test works. You're going to see us do it 1,000 times over the course of the playthrough, so if it's not super clear, don't even worry about it. We're going to go through it a ton. Okay, so moving on through the introduction, we would have a little bit of combat, learn the rules of that, and then there's a little bit more reading to do, so let's do it. Azarius led us to the foot of a great boulder covered in carved letters and a crescent moon. There, in the fog, a woman stood, her face and hair glimmering with tiny stars. She told us her name was Mikra, and that she was a god. We tried to ask her for help. Surely a god could get us back through the portal to our home, but she silenced our pleas. The gods have grown weak since we wakened 8 years ago. Our power has only diminished. You wish to return to your world, and I could help you, but you will need to help me as well. The god Orphash seeks to destroy me. To survive, I must have the power of the totems. These special stones have been drained of their power and hidden away, lost and mostly forgotten. But if you find them and the right ingredients, I can rejuvenate the totems, regain my power, calm the monsters that guard the portal to your world, and defeat Orphash. I have a few dormant totems to give you, and Azarius can help you find more. He will know where to look and how to find you when you are in need. Now go. The portal to your world won't stay open forever. Once it closes, many years will pass before it opens again. Okay, and then it goes through a game turn walkthrough, but I'm going to do that for us. So, the only way to start is by starting. And I think the first thing we should do is explore a little bit. We start on this hex where our plane landed, and there's a number on it, which means that we can do the explore action here. Now, the explore action, you can see, has a time cost above it. We have 5 time to make use of on our turn, and that can be used to explore, to travel, to make camp, to fly if we need to, which I think we probably won't need to for a little bit, and to repair. One of the things we need to do, first and foremost, is draw 2 new ability cards to our hand. So let's see what we get. We've gotten Encourage which costs 2 to equip, is a Cunning card, and we can spend a stamina to reroll the combat die, so that's quite useful. And then we have Wild, which is a Moxie card, and we can spend a stamina to get rid of, I think it's Fear. It's a picture of a chicken, but we can essentially get rid of that if we have that effect, and it costs 1 card to equip. So I'll go ahead and stick that in our hand, and we'll see what we want to do. Next thing we need to do is draw an event. These are never good. They're only varying degrees of bad. So let's see what we get. Bear Break-In. Bears smell food on the plane and try to break into it at night. Take 1 plane damage. Discard the Eugene Adventure card if it's in hand. So you can see we have a little wooden token to represent our plane. We're going to go ahead and just move this down, taking 1 damage. Youch. And set that to the side. We don't have the Eugene Adventure card, although I am remembering that we need to grab some quests from the introduction. So let me grab that really quick and see what quests we need to grab. All right. So the cool thing is all the quests come in this nice little flavorful box. You pop her open, and then you pull out the quests you need. So let me find them real quick. So at various stages throughout the course of the game, we're going to be required to pull certain quest cards from that nice little box there. And quests have a series of keywords on them that will be called to in the adventure book, and we'll kind of see that right away as we start exploring here in a minute. But here's what kind of a standard one looks like. You can see this one has the keyword Moon. Place this card face down beneath the top 8 cards of the event deck. When you draw it, turn to page 98. This counts as your event card draw. So we'll just flip this over, count some cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to put it 7 down because we've already drawn one. All right, there we go. Cool. Let's see what the other keywords are. We have Thrax Pain, Tear of Mikra, Fire Blast Stone, and Shorm Star. So none of these actually have keywords, interestingly enough, but these are all dormant totems, it looks like. So we can rejuvenate them at any time by discarding whatever the resources are that are pictured there. And if we do, we place this card in the completed quests and gain an adventure card. And adventure cards add to kind of our abilities in combat and have a variety of other kind of helpful effects that they can do. Like this adventure card is an equipment and lets us redraw fate or re-roll the combat dice. This heals somebody for 2. This counts as an additional thing for a skill test. You get it. Very simple stuff. Anyway, so I'm going to set those dormant totems aside there. We definitely don't have enough resources to rejuvenate any of them, and obviously we're not supposed to at the start. We do have some starting resources here, an Augroot, which heals for 1, a Meat, which seems to regain a stamina, or maybe can count as a stamina. I'll need to double check that. A Torch that can add damage, and a Rope, which looks like could possibly contribute to helping us get over some of these obstacle spaces. Basically, if you don't have a way to overcome an obstacle, you take damage as you enter that space. So we would like to avoid that if we possibly can. But yeah, okay. Now that we've got all that set up out of the way, let's just get started. And the first thing we're going to do, now that we've drawn our event card, drawn our ability cards, is we're going to explore. So exploring is one of these main actions here that we can do. It costs 2 time, and it lets us do exactly what it says. It lets us explore this space that we're in. So we're going to turn to the page in the adventure book that matches this little number here, and we're going to read. So let's do that. All right, here we go. First entry of many. If keyword Merc, you may turn to 1.3. If keyword Summon, turn to 1.5. We don't have that at this point. The only keyword we would have is Moon, but I don't even know technically if we have access to that since it's in the event deck. So we just proceed. Henrik rests near a smoky fire. A piece of spit-skewered meat sizzles over the dancing flames. We have a choice. A, examine Henrik's collection of books and maps. It's a Savvy 7 test. If we fail, we return to the map, so functionally we just lose that Explore option, which now as I talk about it, I've spent 2. Or we can ask Henrik where the lost passengers went, or we can ask Henrik what happened to his plane, or we can check on our plane's cargo. Let's ask him where the lost passengers went. I think that's a good place to start. So we'll go to 1.2 here. Help me with supper and I will tell you what I know. Henrik hands you a smooth clay pot of dried herbs. They all split up as soon as we met Mikra. Some went looking for totems. A few of us stayed here to wait for the passengers to return. How many passengers were there, you ask? There were 20 when we landed, but not all are still alive. The twins and I were waiting here for the others to return with enough totems for Mikra, but now that we have you to help us, our chances are much greater. Twins? asked Ed. I didn't see anyone else around. Yes, there was a young woman and her brother. They went to the lake to catch fish, but I haven't seen them in days. Gain Quest 5. Gain Adventure Card 28. Cool. So we get to take a look at another quest and a new adventure card. Let's do it. So we've gotten a new adventure card in our disposal, which lets us spend a meat to recover 3 health. Love that. Set it over here with the others. Then we also gained a new quest with the keyword twins, which says 2 survivors from Henrik's plane, brother and sister, went fishing at the lake to the east of Henrik's camp. So I'm going to set that off to the side here. Okay, so to the west of the camp, so we can see that there's a lake here, and so that's probably where they went. But let's keep reading, because we get to go back to page 1 and we can keep going. So let's talk to him a little bit more. Let's ask Henrik what happened to his plane. We'll turn to 1.4. If your plane was destroyed when you came through the portal, how did you survive, you ask? Henrik's eyes betray an anger that his voice doesn't show. We landed safely, but Ibsen took the plane back up, the selfish bastard. Of course he didn't make it. The Health Arc got him. Dashed the plane against the cliffs like it was a sparrow. Health Arc, you ask? You mean the monster? That monster is the guardian of the God Eye, Henrik explains. That's what the locals call the portal. The Health Arc protects this world from people like us. Can it be killed, you ask? Azarius replies, You're looking for a quick solution, but there is none. You cannot kill a titan with guns and knives. No, we must try to make the monster sleep. We must get Mikra's help. And we go back to 1. Yeah, man. I really feel like I'm almost like save scumming this situation, but let's check on our plane's cargo, and then maybe we'll try to get a look at his books and maps. This must be at the plane must be at Henrik's camp. It is unavailable with keyword art. We don't have that. Turn to 1.9. We've been robbed. Ed stands next to an open crate entirely devoid of any valuable artworks. All the crates are empty. I'm ruined. No, shouts Miguel, searching around the empty crates, as though the missing art could merely have been misplaced. How could this happen? Azarius approaches, looking mildly concerned. What has been stolen? Art, explains Jesse, also searching around for potential clues. You know, paintings and stuff. Ed makes a living as an art trader, and a fart trader. He had a big sale lined up in Honolulu. I see, Azarius says, his tone dismissive. This is about money, then. Aren't there more important things to worry about right now, like getting you all home? It's not about money, snaps Ed. Ed glances at Miguel, looking suddenly guilty. Never mind, we need to get my stolen property back as soon as possible. This has to be our top priority. I insist on it. You agree to keep an eye out the next time you're at a market to see if you catch anyone attempting to sell any of the stolen pieces. Gain Quest 156 and turn to 1. All right. Let me grab that real quick. Starting to think I should keep this thing closer to me. Starting to think I should keep that MFer on me. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense. Now we have keyword art, so we cannot go back to that entry anymore. Makes a lot of sense, because it would just lead us back here. Ed's collection was stolen from the cargo of our plane. We should be on the lookout for anyone trying to sell any of the stolen pieces. Cool. We'll put that with the other quest, and we keep on keeping on. All right, so let's do it, man. Examine Henrik's collection of books and maps. A savvy test of 7. Okay, so who has good savvy? Miguel has good savvy, and Azarius both have good savvy. So I'm going to spend a stamina from each of them. That seems like a good base. That's 4 savvy. So we just need a 3 or higher from the Fate deck, and we get a 2. Well, beans. Now, if we wanted to, I believe we could use Ed's ability to redraw. And you know what? I think I'm going to play it fast and loose. Let's redraw. I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's why you redraw. That's a 4. That's twice as good as a 2 if you're keeping count. So we don't care about what any of the text says on the Fate card when we flip it. We just care about this number. So let's go ahead and put that in the discard. In fact, we'll put it in its designated space on this discard. And we've succeeded. So, fail, return to the map. Succeed, turn to 1.1. A gently folded parchment falls from one of Henrik's journals. It's a map leading to a temple in the mountains to the northwest. Gain Quest 4. See, I'm telling you, man, I should be keeping this mother-frickin' thing on me. Quest 4. Keyword temple. We deciphered a map of a temple in the mountains to the northwest of Henrik's camp. So I'll put those with the others. Okay. Well, now, that's great. We've done pretty much everything that we can in that entry, and so now we pop back out to the map, and we have a lot to think about, actually. We know that we're looking for those twins by the lake, which I assume is this here. And then there's something about a temple in the mountains to the northwest. Northwest, if my compass skills are any use here, maybe up here. We do have rope, so hopefully the rope does what I think it does, in that it helps us overcome that obstacle. I will check that in the rules at some point, I'm sure. You want to go here to the forest and take a look, or do you want to go check out this little shrine-looking deal? I think I want to check out a shrine. A little bit of shrine. I don't know why I'm doing I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't know why I'm doing it. So let's just go over there and take a look. So we're going to take the travel action. It only costs one time. We hop over here. No problem. We can't move diagonal, only orthogonal. And now that we're here, let's spend our last two. 1, 2. To explore. Although before we do that, actually, hold on, let me back up. 1, 2. We have some cards in our hand, and I think I want to equip at least one of them, because once we run out of time, we're going to have to draw 2 more. If you ever have more than 7 cards in your hand, you have to discard some. And that just doesn't seem like a recipe for success-ipy. So let's find one that works for us. Nimble says, in combat, if this character rolls a -1, re-roll. Seems very good, just generally nice. I know that there's a combat card in our deck, I remember from the demo, that cares about how many wrenches somebody has. So we could either slot it on Claire to make her like super extra good, or we could put it on Jessie, or really anybody that already has a wrench to kind of buff them up more. Let's do it on Jessie. So we will slot it under Jessie here, and then I think I am just going to discard this Dexterous. It's quite the cost. I really have jumped around from thinking we needed to equip it to not wanting to equip it at all. So now we have 5 cards. We don't need to make a decision if we're going to equip more at this moment. We're going to be drawing 2 next turn. All right, here we go. Down 2, and let's explore. We're going to turn to 6. Okay. Mountain winds tickle the ochre grass, brushing the valley until thousands of stalks sway like waves on a yellow sea. Mikra's shrine, a monolith carved with a crescent moon, casts a long, dark shadow like a patch of night that has not yet melted away. A thick cloud gathers around the base of the boulder, and Mikra strides out. How goes your search? We must hurry. Orfash grows stronger the longer we wait. We could either A, ask Mikra to tell us more about the totems, or B, ask Mikra where to find totems. Let's cut to the frickin' chase, man. Where do you find these dang things? Mikra shakes her head. I wish I knew where the totems are. They've been scattered every way the wind blows and hidden in the shallowest pockets and the deepest graves. The best thing to do is to keep your ears open and your mind sharp. Something so powerful isn't easy to hide. What about Orfash? You said he plans to destroy you. Yes, that's true, but if you can bring me enough totems, perhaps he won't succeed and I can get you home. Little sassy there, Mikra, okay? We're doing our best. We're very scared. We just got here, and there's a big eye in the sky. We go back to 6. I'm just going to stay here and go to 6.1, because that's our only choice anyway. What's going on with these totems, man? Tell us more. The power of the totems is linked to the power of the gods. As the gods have grown weak, the power of the totems has faded. If you rejuvenate enough of them, I will have the power to make the Health Ark sleep and allow you to go home. Mikra picks a dried red blossom and crushes it in her fingers. The peppery aroma soon has your eyes watering. The burning of this sun rose is strong but momentary. The power of a totem now fades just as quickly. To return their power, you can use local herbs, though sometimes it takes more precious ingredients. But there are maps and clues to help you find them. Here, take this one that I inexplicably didn't give you to start the game. You're holding out on me, Mikra. I don't understand why. You're hiding something from me. Okay, quest 13. Let's... You know, sometimes things happen, and you just have to be zen about it and acknowledge that maybe it was your fault and move on. Quest... What did she say? Quest 13. Ooh, look at this. Look at that. I'm going to put that up closer to the camera so you can see how nice that art is. When on this exact Atlas square, spend 1 time to search for treasure. It's a perception test of 11 to 16. Reward 1 resource matching your result. Place this card in completed quests. Fail, no reward, keep this card. Okay, interesting. So, where is that exact hex? Is it on this page even? Huh. My eyes don't work no good. Maybe I don't think it's on this page. If it is, people are like shouting, blind, blind. Yeah, I legitimately don't see it, so it's probably on a different page. Cool. Well, let's hold on to this. Keep that in mind. Neato. All right, so we go back to 6, and I believe that's all we can even do. So, yep, we leave. Return to the map. Okay, so that is one whole turn. We did some exploring, we did some traveling, equipped a card, and now this time token is going to move back to the top, and we're going to start all over. We're going to draw 2 new ability cards. We have Gifted, which costs 4 to discard, which costs 4 to equip. When any player camps, you draw 1 ability card. Interesting. And then Fire Trap just costs 1 to equip. You can spend a backpack. Is that a backpack? A flask? You can do something with an item to deal 2 damage, and it's not an attack. And that's a cunning ability. The other one's a perception ability. So we'll stick those in our growing hand of ability cards. And now we need to draw an event. Let's hope it's not awful. Plane Frost. An ice storm hits the grounded plane. Immediately take 2 plane damage. Ongoing. You cannot perform a fly action or move the plane. This remains in play until you perform a repair action and gain that item. Okay, well, beans. Our plane, for not flying at all, is really taking a freaking beating. So we'll have to address that at some point. Neato burrito. All right, cool. So let's just put this, I don't really know. I don't know where. I guess we'll put it under the plane here, just as a reminder that it can't go anywhere. Okay, so now we get into the actions again. And what do we want to do? I'm a little nervous about this plane, but I don't really feel like we need to fly anywhere currently. Although that said, if it takes more damage, I don't know what happens. When it hits 0, it looks like we lose a camp. And camps are kind of like a limited thing you have over the course of the entire campaign. And I think when you run out, the campaign just ends, which is a little spooky, a little scary. So we could go back and repair the plane. And then maybe, let's see, come over here. That's 1 time. Repair, that's another time. 1, 2, move here, and then explore it. We could do that. See what's going on there. Or we could ignore the plane entirely, travel like here and explore, take a look for the twins. Let's do that. I think that seems more immediately interesting to me rather than just kind of running on a treadmill. Let's do it. So we're going to travel 1, travel 2, and explore 1, 2. Right? Travel, explore. Perfect. Okay, let's turn to page 10. Water roars over the rocks, and glistening dew from the misty air drips from your nose and chin. A small bag hangs from a ledge above the foam. We can investigate a face carved into the rock further down the river, which is a perception 6. And if we fail, we lose 4 health. Or lash branches together to snag the bag, a craft of 8. And if we fail, it's minus 6 health. Does anybody have double perception? No, no one does. Jesse has 2 Who's a What's It's craft, and Claire has 2 craft, so we could just spend 2 of those. This face carved into the rock is interesting to me, though. I'll tell you what, let's just spend 1 from Jesse. That's 2 craft. Oh, then we need to draw 6. That's crazy. Yeah, so let's spend 2. So that's 4. So if we draw 4, that'll do. Do we want to spend 1 from Azarius as well? 6 health is a lot of health, man. I tell you what. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so we've spent a stamina from those people. We've got 2, 4, 5. We just need to draw 3 or better. Come on, man. Come on. We draw 2. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think I'm too invested, so I'm going to spend the doctor to do his little ability where we redraw, All right, that's a 6. That's much better. We spent a lot more than we needed to, but I'd rather do that than just fail. So we succeed. Turn to 10.2. As you hook the leather strap of the bag and hoist it over the rough water, the branches unfasten and it slips toward the river. You grab the branches and spin them, swinging the bag into the air. Jesse, always ready for a fly ball, nice, catches it with delight. Inside the bag is a map and an old book filled with sketches of mountain landscapes, trees, animals, and people. As you thumb through the pages, one sketch catches your attention. A shack precariously built on a rocky spire in the middle of the lake. Gain quests 33 and 136, cross off location 10, and return to the map. Huh. Interesting. Okay. So, when it says to cross off location 10, what it's referring to is, let me find it, our map here. I don't know how clearly you can see that. Hopefully that looks okay. We need to find location 10, which is here, and cross it off. It's just relevant for story stuff. So let's go ahead and take care of that. It has been crossed off. I know I didn't do that on camera, but you'll just have to trust me, I'm afraid. Now, if we want to, we can spend some additional time moving. Oh, and you know what? I'm realizing that I'm a dang fool because this is probably the lake they were talking about. But before I do any of that, I'm already forgetting to do what the dang prompt told me to do. So gain quest 33 and 136. So let's grab those real quick. Okay. Quest 33 has the keyword sketch, and it says, we found a book of sketches. One of the sketches depicts a shack built on a rocky spire in the middle of a lake. And the other one is a map. When on this exact space in the atlas, spend 1 time to search for treasure, and it has the same exact sort of deal as the first one we found. So, very neat. Very cool. Set those aside. All right, and I think what we're going to do to finish this turn is just travel to get into this space to prepare us for next turn so we can explore there, see what's going on with these twins, maybe. So let's go ahead and set up for that. I think we'll do one more turn and then we'll end this part for now. Let's get to it. Zwoop. We're going to... Oh, I guess before we end our turn, we should think about maybe equipping something. I'm going to equip this hunt card onto Miguel. It's going to cost me 2 cards to discard. I'm going to discard Frenzy and Wild. And now when we draw back up, we will have plenty of room. So we've drawn Tough, which just always grants 1 armor. So that'll just always block off 1 damage during combat. That's great. And Buff, plus 1 damage to themselves. So that's great. Both those cards are great. And they both cost a heaping lot of cards to discard to equip them. So, good card, gotta pay. All right, draw the event. Spider Bite. A small red spider bites Jessie when she walks into its web. Treat the bite. It's going to cost 7 savvy. If we fail, Jessie takes 3 damage and gains poisoned. And then we gain some honey or something. Okay. Yikes. All right. Well, I will spend 1 from Miguel, who has 2 savvy. And then I think I'm going to spend Azarius' last 1, because I don't want to fail this. What does poison do, actually? Hold on, how much do I care? Poison. I'm pretty sure poison deals them a damage every single turn, and I don't really want that. Venom, yeah, -1 health at turn start. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. All right, so that's 4. We just need to draw a 3. Now, that's the 3rd time that that's happened. And I don't love it that it's happened. I don't love it. I don't love those 2s that we keep drawing. We're going to spend the doctor's last 1, man. And hope. It's a 1. It's even more. It's even worse. Oh, that stings. That hurts real bad. Okay. So we fail. Jessie is going to take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And she is going to get a poison. Venom, whatever the heck. Looking now, down, I should have seen that Miguel can spend 2 stamina, I should say, to just cure Venom straight up. So I probably shouldn't have done what I just did, but it's a learning experience. And then we gain one of those things. So that's nice. So we can actually take care of this. We can eat a meat to gain back a stamina. And then we can spend the 2 stamina to cure her Venom. So not the worst. Okay. Not fantastic either, but it is what it is. I wonder if we have anything over here that helps as well. I need to remember that. Yeah, we can redraw fate here as well, which I should maybe be more cognizant of. But we will learn as we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this last turn here, and then I think we'll wrap up the video for this week. I hope that you've enjoyed it so far, and I appreciate you sticking around. Hopefully, the production only gets better with time. But why am I wrapping up? We still got a whole turn to do. Let's freaking do it. Let's explore, I dare say. So we're going to spend 1, 2 time, and we're going to go to 11. A moldering boat lies at the edge of the crystal lake. Phantom crabs walk drunkenly along the boat boards, clicking at the old wood. We can A, repair the boat and explore the lake. Requires the keyword row. Don't got it. We can wander the shore, which is a perception of 6. We can search for the twins. Requires the keyword twins. We got it. Requires perception 10? Oh my god. And if we fail, we lose 9 health. Jesus Christus. Okay. Well, I mean, we want to find the twins. That's why we came here. We do have this binoculars card, which we can spend for 2. I think we're going to end up camping after this. So I tell you what, I think we're going to go all out here. We're going to spend these binoculars. We're going to spend Mikra's aid for an additional. So that's 3 perception so far. We'll do 4 from Claire, 5 from Jesse, and then, oh man. It's fine if somebody needs to take a big old thunk on the head, we'll handle that. We're due, right? We're due to draw a good fate card. We're due for some good luck. It's been really bad so far. We've really done terribly. So to recap, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus 3 is 8. I'm sad. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to spend this basic gear to redraw fate. It's less. It's less. It's less than 3. And I don't mean like one of these, like one of those cute, 2007 hearts you might comment on someone's MySpace page after you do a PC for PC. It's less than the number 3, which is to say we failed. We failed, and we've spent so much is the thing that I'm thinking about in this day. Okay, well, you live, you learn, you win some, you lose some, though it seems like I am predisposed to losing more than I win, so let's just deal with this. Okay, so the deal is when you fail, you have to take 9 damage in this case, and you have to prioritize the people who took place in the test first. I think I'm going to take, let's do 6 on Claire, and then 4 on Jesse? 3 on Jesse, I should say. 1, 2, 3. That seems, not fine, but it seems like not the worst thing that could possibly happen. Okay, turn to 11.3. These twins better be freaking worth it. If it's not Sprouse level twins, I quit, and this is the only part of this series you'll ever see. So there better be a Dylan and Cole at the end of this path. Sand crunches beneath your feet. A cold mist pouring down from the mountain blankets the shore ahead, where something red catches your eye. It's a tackle box surrounded by bits of gear, a fishing pole, a tin can filled with worms, a plate, and some rusty utensils. As you pick through the box, a wild cry rings out. 2 human forms burst from the fog, scrambling desperately along the beach. Heavy steps shake the ground. From behind the veil of fog, a titanic cyclops lurches forward, swinging arms like wrecking balls. Its one terrible eye shines with primeval rage, above gnashing teeth and a tongue that wriggles like a live snake. 2 blood-stained horns hang from the monster's head. The twins cannot escape his tree trunk fingers as he scoops them up and pounds off into the fog bank. Ed and Miguel shudder behind a rock, peering after the Cyclops. Jessie is frozen, her feet planted in the sand of the lake shore, gripping her baseball bat pitifully. Miguel stares aghast at the fading forms. Those are the twins. They're going to be Cyclops food. Thanks, Miguel. We have to help them, says Ed, but this feels like a losing hand. There are ways to take down a Cyclops, says Azarius, but not with meager weapons. We need to be prepared. It will not be an easy fight or an easy journey. The Cyclops roam the tundra north of the canyon, but we need strong weapons if we're going to defeat him. Complete Quest 5, gain Quest 8, gain Adventure Card 23, and return to the map. Twins, you weren't worth it. You were not Sprouse level. I don't even know if you were Olsen level. You know, and I'm not even talking like 90s Olsens, okay? I'm not talking about heyday Olsens. I'm talking about like 2010s and beyond Olsens, where really Elizabeth is the only one that anybody wants to talk about anymore. You've really biffed it. You really boffed it. And I've taken a lot of pain for you, and I don't appreciate it. I think, you know, not to be cruel, but maybe you deserve whatever that Cyclops has coming for you. And I don't mean that, but I'm upset. So we're going to complete Quest 5. It's out of there. Of course, I'm going to be nicer to that card and put it somewhere at some point, but for now I need to affect a sort of playful nonchalance. And then we're going to gain Quest 8. So let's do that. Does gaining Quest 8 perhaps heal 8 and restore all of our stamina? Because, I mean, just asking, like for a friend. Lake. We found the twins, but a giant Cyclops hauled them over the mountains to the north of the lake. Azarius says the Cyclops roams the northern tundra. He said a few more things than that, Claire, or whoever. He said a lot about how strong it is and stuff. Gain Adventure Card 23, Fishing Pole. I will, sir. 23. Cool. When on a, I assume, lake square, draw Fate. If 1, nothing. If 2 to 6, gain 1 meat. If 7 to 8, gain 2 meat. Sick. All right, why not? Okay, well that sucked. I don't mind saying it. You know, some people are afraid to say when things suck. Not me. I'm pleased to tell you, I didn't like that one bit. So what are we going to do? We're going to spend a meat. Just get rid of that. To restore a stamina to Miguel. And then we're going to spend 2 stamina from Miguel to heal Jessie's venom. Because I feel like... Oh, actually, you know what? No. Hold on. No, we're not. No, we're not. I lied. I apologize. Oh, excuse me. I'm hiccuping. I'm so upset. When we camp, we can remove a status. And I think we're going to be camping pretty soon. So then, what do? Yeah, I mean, let's spend the fishing pole. Why not? I think we could use some extra supplies anyway. So we're going to draw Fate. It's a 6, so we're going to gain 1 meat. Sure. I would have preferred 2, but at this point, not getting punched in the face, I think I will take as a victory. Bam. Dose meat. You know what? We're going to be regaining stamina from Miguel and everybody anyway, so let's just go ahead and get another meat. Really creating a thriving meat market here in our little corner of the lake. My apologies for the crinkling of this bag. I really should just pour these components out. Will I? Not now, apparently. Okay. And then we still have a bunch of stuff we can do. We're just so far away from anything. I tell you what, I think maybe we do a setup move. Let's go to the mall today. Yeah, I think we're just going to do kind of a boring move, which is I think we're just going to spend 1, 2, 3 to go 1, 2, 3 to move here. With plans to move here, repair the plane, and then check out this kind of side of things. Maybe go up here and see what kind of temple is hiding up there. If it is in fact there, it might be even further. It might need to go to a new page even. But for now, I think that's going to end our turn, and we'll just move that up to the top. And I think that's going to be the first part of this series. Bad luck aside, this game is a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to see where the story goes and what kind of nonsense our characters get up to. And you know what, I'll tell you what I'm really excited for? To not have just the worst luck. Just the worst luck possible. Yeah, if you liked what you see, please consider giving a like, commenting down below, and saying, I enjoyed this, and here's some engagement for you. And honestly, it really would help a lot, and I appreciate it. If you want to see more of this series, tell me, let me know. Tell me just how hungry you are for sleeping gods. I need to know. The people need to know, and the people in this case is me, whether or not this is something you enjoy and that you want to see. And I'd be happy to keep bringing it. And finally, if you do like the videos I produce here, please do consider checking out my Patreon. There's extra benefits there. You get extra videos. You can even vote on videos that I do in the future. Even $1 a month helps more than you ever know in terms of getting to keep producing these fun videos. And I mean, look, you got to live vicariously through someone else's bad luck, right? I mean, thank God it's happening to me and not to you, you're probably thinking. It would be different if you were there. It would go down different, right? Marky Mark, it would go down differently if you were here. And I agree. But until then, that's going to do it for me here at the table. I want to thank you so much for watching. You could have sat down with anybody in the world, anybody on the whole dang internet, but instead you decided to sit down with me, a guy sweating over drawing random cards and just getting absurdly upset at fate's seeming desire to destroy me at every turn. It's not a conspiracy if it's actually happening to you. I promise. I think that's awesome, and I really appreciate it. I will see you next week with, hopefully, a new part to this series. So until then, take care, and I'll see you then. Love you very much. Peace.